American football, square-jawed heroes, pretty girls and pom-poms, hot dogs and beer. This is American football outside of the continental U.S. This is Southeast London in January. This is Exiles football. Gridiron has been crashing its padded shoulders against the resistant British coastline for over 3 decades now. But the stop-start nature of the game, along with its armory of equipment and specialist positions, has yet to really charm the soccer-mad Brits.
So we can run mirror images or the opposite, yeah? So the joint, so like the quick slant with the hitches on the other side. You with me?
Kent Exiles head coach Tony Bainbridge has been an obsessive follower since 1988. Being introduced to the game by his father, he instantly embraced the tactical yet brutal nature of it. Brains and brawn required in equal measure across a variety of positions in what is surely the ultimate egalitarian physical pursuit.
Something about football right from day one just kind of got me hooked. It seemed so much more exotic than what was on the telly. It was sort of like St and Greavesy. Saturday lunchtime, for the football, I used to watch that. But that Sunday night, the logos, the bright colours, and the razzmatazz that goes with it.
As well as the on-field battles he orchestrates against opposing teams, Bainbridge continually fights a war all his own, an inflammatory bowel condition, Crohn's disease. Several years ago, a sudden flare-up cut short an extended stay in Florida, ending an opportunity to coach a local high school team.
I first started getting the symptoms of it when I was in America. My uncle emigrated in 95 to Florida, and I went out for the fall of 96 to work with him and spend some time over there. I was technically on holiday in Florida. I figured it was something I'd eat, and it went away after a few days. It wasn't a massive issue, but looking back, that was obviously the start, the first sort of signs were while I was in the States.
More recently, a major attack resulting in serious invasive surgery stopped him completing the postseason minicamp of 2012.
We put together an 8-week program that allowed us to do lots of football-related stuff as well as some strength and conditioning bits. That started at the beginning of October, and by the second week of October, I'd got really sick and ended up in hospital as an inpatient, and missed basically the last 6 weeks of that 8-week program. But from a football point of view, I feel good. The way the season sets up for us is we're playing a lot of familiar opponents.
Okay, let's go. Eyes up, eyes up.
Now in his 3rd season as head coach, Bainbridge feels the time is right for the Exiles to go all the way. Preseason, regular season, playoffs, title. Tony wants it all and is prepared to put the work in. Heaven help any player who doesn't sign on to that.
So let's go king right. Simple, let's go king right, eagle right, king right, eagle right. So king right, eagle right, one-on-one, ready? To the post. Yeah? Move, fight! It's a bit dangerous.
While TV audience numbers steadily increase and NFL games fill Wembley Stadium, the real diehards are here with helmets, pads, and attitude. The Exiles offer a home to these misfits. They actively encourage and recruit them. From teenagers upwards, they swap goals for touchdowns and the pitch for the field. Soccer is taught in schools. The Exiles call this football, an almost sacrilegious statement this side of the pond. Ryan Critcher had been a fan of the game for a while. This year he decided to strap on the pads. A rookie's opening season can be fraught with confusing terms, coaches yelling bizarre commands, and of course that ever-present specter, nerves. Like most fast, athletic types coming fresh to the game in Britain, Ryan thought his natural position would be as wide receiver. Offensive coordinator John Moore decided after consideration to try Ryan at running back, a position that demands speed, balance, attack, and allows no room whatsoever for hesitation or fear. Fortunately for the Exiles, the receiving corps' loss is the greater good's gain.
Ready, teams! Ready to start!
And running backs can still catch the ball. A preseason scrimmage is the usual way to test a team's winter preparation. The London Olympians are this year's test.
I always like to try and get a pre-season scrimmage against an opponent that's at a higher level than us. Not so that we get beaten up. And the reason we choose the Olympians is that they do take it. They're doing it for their preparation. They understand it's preparation for the season. From my point of view, this is preparation for the season. It's not about trying to beat a better team or, finding a worse team, just go and hammer, and they treat it the same way. So that's why they've been chosen as opponents.
And that's why it's structured rather than...
It's structured so that it's preparation for the season. It's not about, we're not keeping score. It's not about who wins. It's not about them beating up on us because they want to boost their confidence. It's about preparing for the season. Last few practices have been quite good leading up to this. So I'm quite confident that although we're completely outmatched with regards to the levels that the two teams are playing football at, because it's controlled, I fully expect us to be able to execute and do some things very, very well. And then obviously that takes us into our next practice before our first game, so that we've got an idea of what we need to work on, what we can do well, where we struggle, before we start playing opponents that really count.
Yeah, nervous, excited, obviously, but I'm ready. I'm just anxious, I guess, eager. But a little bit nervous.
Contrasting Ryan's rookie nerves is Gareth Reese's hard-won experience and steely calm. A veteran player of 6 years, playing for a variety of college and club teams, has forged a wily football player, able to play several different positions and immediately make a difference.
End of the day, it's just like any other game. I'm going to get my stomach nerves, everything like that, but it's the best way to play. You know it means something to you.
A team's makeup will alter over seasons, but players like Gareth provide a much-needed constant for coordinators and head coaches alike.
I mean, for Exiles, we're going to see where we stand. We're going to see the play level that we can play at, if we're able to keep up with a Premiership team, or if we're going to find that, we have athletes in places and we have other bits that need working on. But for the Exiles themselves, it's going to be a really big learning curve. I mean, for the Olympians, it's going to be, I'm going to say a warm-up, but they're going to have a good training session. They're going to have a different opponent in front of them rather than their own teammates, so they still get a game scenario. So for them, they really get to see how things click.
Alongside the senior team is the Exiles youth team, yet to play their first game of the season, but already looking good in practice.
There we go. Good job. Here we go.
The scrimmage against the Olympians is the first real chance for Coach Bainbridge to see the X's and O's he has drawn and redrawn over the last 6 months come to life. With nobody keeping score, both head coaches use this opportunity to iron out the wrinkles and get the mistakes over and done with. There are only 2 weeks left before the Exiles face their first game of the regular season, under the lights against the Essex Spartans.
It's going to be a real good game, real nice rivalry there, been since about 2002. So we're really looking at a really good, fun game to play.
The chill air of a late April evening frames the long-held rivalry of these two teams. Combine that with the novelty of playing on a Saturday night, under the floodlights, and players and coaches are ready to go.
Okay, we know that. We picked it up. Zach's rolled out, okay? Ben picked up a nice block in the middle from the running back.
From here on in, the hits will be 100% and the points will count. There will be one winner and one loser tonight, and Coach Bainbridge does not intend to head home the loser. Ryan's first game for real starts out well, as does the Exiles' first half. But this is Exiles football. You never know what you're going to get.
Go, 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 go! Yeah! Yeah!
Soon into the second half, Ryan makes the cardinal sin for running back. He fumbles the ball. Welcome to the game, rookie. The Exiles eventually carve out a win. Winning ugly still counts. 1-0, the season has begun. May. Summer has arrived as the Exiles travel to Colchester with their heads high and their mindset already used to winning. The Gladiators are a serious opponent, but the mood is upbeat.
The pre-season for the 2012 season it wasn't as coherent, it wasn't as organised seemingly as it had been the year before. There didn't seem to be the same enthusiasm towards practice, perhaps from the coaches and from the players with regards to attendance and just the general, not necessarily effort, but the commitment to practice.
Commitment is something Coach Alistair Beaton believes in fiercely. In charge of special teams, his job is to make sure the attitude is out there on the field from the first whistle. The kickoff return team, under Alistair's guidance, is responsible for giving the Exiles good field position.
Left guard, David Simon. Left tackle, Seb. Left tight end, Ben Westfield. Get on it! Get on it!
You can have one or two absolutely fantastic players. We've got a really good quarterback for this level in this country. But unless you can keep him upright, then he's not much use.
When the boys up front are doing their job, which they seem to be towards the end of that half, there was some holes to run through, there was protection, there's space in the secondary for the receivers. Yeah, we're getting good gains, so let's keep at them. Yeah, don't take any plays off. Okay, we keep at them, keep rolling the ball down the field, keep stopping them on defense. There's no reason why we can't push straight past these guys and win this game.
Despite all the upheaval that I've had personally, obviously through the off-season programme wasn't able to take as much part in as I wanted to, because I was in a hospital bed for pretty much all of it, and still now I don't have the energy levels to be able to really get hands-on with the coaching certain positions that I'd like to. It has meant that John Moore was promoted to offensive coordinator after just one season as a line coach, because everybody felt that he was, and I certainly felt he was ready for that. But everything, you go back to this kind of military comparison, everything is a little bit more regimented and documented and kind of on programme.
We said this was going to be tough against Colchester. We had the fair bet of the first couple of drives, okay? But they will react, okay? Offensive line, no fucking blocks there whatsoever. Okay, let's work on that.
And there's a lot less what we call downtime at practice. There's very little time when players are standing around waiting for something to happen or waiting for a drill to be set up.
Go Sam!
So the tempo in general is a little bit higher across the board, and hopefully that will have a reflection on game day.
There should be a post somewhere, it's cover 2. Oh! Get him! Get across! Pin him in! Good job.
The Exiles youth team have opened their season with a 2-1 home tournament win. Now away at Watford, they show that skill and execution can always beat brute force.
Nice. Oh.
Good, Sean. Keep it going.
Good run, Sean. Nice run, Sean.
That doesn't mean to say they don't have any brute force.
Go!
Return, get ready, start thinking about it.
Football has its idiosyncrasies, from the unified team warm-ups to the captain's formal coin toss. The bread and butter of the game, however, is running and passing. Against the Maidstone Pumas, the Kent Exiles are in no mood to play nice. Ryan has his breakout game, and things just go from strength to strength. Between Ryan and powerback Ben Abbott, the smash and dash approach is just too much for the Pumas to handle. There's even some passing.
Defense lead up, 4th down.
Watch you too high cover.
Go! Come on, Exo!
There you go.
I have no confidence that you can go on anything on that fucking one.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't call response against
There's a reason I have no confidence. You can't go on anything on the fucking one, and it's not hard. Okay? And also, we're making simple fucking mistakes. Alright? Panther. Panther is Panther. Okay?
Finally, a home game arrives. Playing in their new venue for the first time, the Exiles embrace the sunshine and buckle up to face the Spartans once again. The youth team, fresh from their 3-0 winning tournament in Watford, are staying loose with a light training session. Sometimes, though, football can be complicated.
James, I said flip it. A piece to the left of it.
That is flipped.
Right, carry on, well done.
Joe, stay with the centre.
Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up, he's free!
The complexities of the game demand it be taken very, very seriously. By most, anyway.
Lifelong one.
Football is complicated. Complicated and frustrating.
The big difference is from an offensive point of view between 2011 and 2012 was we changed the offense, something we experimented with a little bit towards the back end of the 11 season was no huddle, being able to call the plays in from the sideline using pictures or words, and have the team not need to take the full 30 seconds between plays and huddle and break, run at a higher tempo, and that's something that I wanted to try and carry on in 2012 and base the whole offence around. Unfortunately, with part of that, obviously, it meant that there was a substantially more learning for the offensive players to do, because they needed to know what they were going to have to do depending on what formation we lined up in, and what the play call was, and then whether they happened to be on the play side or the back side of the play. So it really meant, although none of it was particularly difficult to understand, it did mean that we were relying on players doing homework as such to learn what they needed to do away from the field. It wasn't something that they could just think about on a Sunday. They had to go home and look at the playbooks and go through in their mind the situations that they'd be in and what they would have to do. And basically we found that there really weren't enough guys either willing or able to do that learning on their own. There still is a lot of learning for the offensive. We're not telling each individual player what they're having to do. They need to learn that this play is a concept. And what they do will change depending on where they line up, and what the play call is, rather than being told exactly what to do.
Halftime is spent in the cool of a squash court, with their leader's strategy for the rest of the game.
Seriously, the only way their offense is going to score is if our defense gets so bored that someone falls asleep. And that's what happened last time. They need to go home hurting and crying and wanting to not play this game anymore because it is pointless. They will never ever win again. That is how they need to feel when they leave here today. Okay? And 20-8 or 26-8 or 28-12 or 28-14 isn't going to do that. Okay? But 40-8 might. 46-8 might. Yeah?
46-8, a tall order. Tony's boys come out slinging, and the football gods eventually smile down on them.
Nice, keep going, Ben.
Nice job, Ben. Thank you. Okay?
In case you need a fullback at any point.
Do like an Andre Johnson, 8 yards.
Signal.
Yeah. Hold on, what's hold on? Signals for what? Just change it up now.
Sometimes, though, football can be complicated.
Set! Red 18! Red 18's a hut! Come on, G!
The Cheetahs are a serious football team with a bruising defense and bad intentions. They pose an entirely different challenge to the Spartans, so the Exiles have to keep their wits about them. Coach Moore steers his offense with clear, cold precision, adjusting the game plan as the day unfolds. Today, the heat is certainly not their friend. Thankfully, the end zone is. A clean mix of run and passing plays breaks down the resistance of the North London Cats. The tempo remains high and the mood fierce until the final whistle is blown. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. But when she sings, oh yeah.
Richie, stay on two!
Yes, in.
Yes. They are who I thought they were, really. They've got good players. They've got good talent. I'm not sure it's necessarily being used properly from a coaching point of view. Just spoke to their head coach. He said that they're missing a lot of guys. They've got 70 odd guys, and they only brought 50 today or something. So whatever.
Took a bit too long to start up again. It was looking like the first game of the season. But the difference is now our O-line stepped up. And when the O-line step up, the running backs can step up. We established a run game. That's it.
Yeah, second half was a lot better. Second half was good. Yeah.
I feel rough, but pleasantly, just happy, to be honest. We had a great game second half was a great game. Started off a bit slow, like we sometimes do that, but we focused, we put people in where we should have. We ran some really good plays, everything just clicked, and hey, we won.
A new player coming in doesn't know any different, so he's not necessarily done it in any other way. You haven't got to kind of break any habits with a new player. He just needs to accept that's how it is. Whereas sometimes if you get a guy that's been 6-7 years has been playing in a different system that doesn't use the same concept, sometimes it's harder for that guy to adapt to something new than it is for a complete rookie to learn it from scratch. But ultimately, there isn't a massive amount of learning compared to what it could be. We have tried to make it as simple as possible, but ultimately, if you understand what you should be doing, then you'll be able to execute. And if you can execute, you're the guy that's going to be out there on game day.
The temperature has decided to raise the stakes, and while a winning Exile team can appear relaxed and loose, for some the heat has other issues. Ryan's nose reacts in a very strange way to overheating, and the offense has yet to even take the field. The hat trick of home games resolves itself with another matchup against the Maidstone Pumas. Not really in the same class as the Exiles, their county rivals do their best, but this is little more than a workout for the men in black. The reps will serve their purpose before the team head north to Milton Keynes in 2 weeks' time. But ironing out the wrinkles is still relevant.
No. Nick, off! Run!
Come on, here.
Goal 2.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
We keep turning it up, and I mean really turning it up, and all the guys that couldn't make today, most of them we knew about, okay. AC, there's a few others, there's some linemen, we know we're on holiday and everything else, okay, I'm not well, Gareth's here somewhere, he's been sick, couldn't play, okay. We keep turning it up, And there's going to be too many weapons on offense and on defense for anyone in this league, in this division to cope with. Okay? But it's up to us. Win out on 3. Win out on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Win out!
A week off from competition means 2 things: skill practice and game planning. That means day training and evening training. The end of the regular season is still a long way to go.
Hey, listen up, listen up. We should know this, okay? We're halfway through a season. The difference between getting our head this side, okay, I'm in a better position to stop him and to wrap him up and he can't go anywhere. If I get my head the wrong side, it very, very quickly becomes an arm tackle. Okay, he's moving on this angle. If I get my head the wrong side, that becomes an arm tackle. And now I'm trying to drag him down from behind. That's an extra 1-2 yards. Okay. Ready, set up! Stop.
They've got a decent record, but now they've had another loss. It puts us in pretty good stead as long as we win out. But, you know, like you said earlier, this is going to be the toughest game we've had.
Right, now if that fullback comes to get me, come get me, come get me. Where you work.
It's very warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very warm. This is me figuratively wearing my jersey.
Okay, so you come out nice and wide to get me, right? At that point, I want this guy to either get strung out to the sideline, yeah, or turn inside.
I mean, in terms of the actual game itself, it's up for grabs. We haven't played them recently and they haven't played us recently, so we're both just gauging from game film.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
it's just who turns up from the day, really. Who wants to win.
Exiles versus Pathfinders. Not so much a grudge match, but one the Exiles have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. Searing heat and the best defense they've had to face so far deliver a bruising combination that puts them down 21-6 at halftime.
Let's get away. Come on. Oh! Let's go, AC. Outside.
A questionable call, to say the least, denies this 2-point conversion.
Oh, good job!
C'est la vie.
No, don't. Just send yourself. Alright, let's just play cover 3 and send yourself and see what they do. If you remember what happened last time? They kept finding seams in all those zones.
Good job, Ben.
We get an adrenaline, we get things rolling. Yeah, we're controlling the tempo. We can exploit what we've already been doing. Don't get excited when we start moving the ball. Just get aggressive, and they will fold to it, and they will freak out a little bit, and then we'll go from there. All right? Because the spaces are there.
Rousing speeches from linebacker Aaron Alexis and quarterback Zach Ritchie return a pumped-up Exile team to the field. They turn up the gas and ruthlessly break their opponents.
Two ones. Good run.
Punt returner Aaron Patterson even breaks a cleat on the sun-baked ground. A good Samaritan may give you the shirt off his back. A good head coach gives you the shoes off his feet.
I love everybody. Where's Novocaine?
Defense, great job keeping us in that game.
Thank you, defense, for keeping us in that game, that first half.
No, I thought the ball was coming my way. We play Exile football all day and we win games. Three cheers to the Pathfinders! Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Three cheers to both sidelines! Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Three cheers to the coaches! Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! We were playing against a team that we knew we were better than, okay, but on the field they were showing that they could play better than us in the first half. That's what happened. These close games, like, you know, we're being behind at Watford. We didn't come back, beat Watford by a point, kicking an extra point, yeah, or tying the game like we did a couple of years ago. No, we beat them by 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns today? Yeah. Same thing, okay? We got these guys next week at home. And they're going to be pissed. Yeah, they're going to be really, really pissed. So
we need to take what we learned today, guys.
Exactly. We need
and
to take
execute next week from the get-go.
There you go. Took the words right out of my mouth. Okay. We look at the film. We look at today. We have a look. We sort all the stuff out. We know what we got to do. We know where our strengths and weaknesses are. We know where their strengths and weaknesses are. We put it all together. Next week's a lot of fun. But what we can't do is think, well, because we beat them today, next week, we win. They're going to be pissed next week now. Hey?
You think today was hard? You think today was hard, guys?
They're 4 and 3. Hands in.
They need to win this year. Almost.
6-1. How about the shout and Gareth, please?
6-1, guys. 1, 2, 3. 6-1! 61. 61.
Really slow.
The youth team have battled relentlessly throughout the year and now find themselves in a position to secure a place at Brit Bowl, the season's end target for every team in the country.
What's our best play actually playing?
Left 1-1.
The game comes down to a nail-biting last-minute catch. Sometimes that's the only way to win.
Going to the Brit Bowl, hands on the helmet. Ready? Ready? Who's got it better than us?
Winning numbers say it all.
11-1.
Trains, planes, and, well, maybe not planes, but trains and automobiles figure heavily in the lives of the Kent Exiles. Tracks and tires being as important as cleats and gloves. In what will turn out to be their last home game of the season, the team are once again traveling to their new ground, this time for the repeat clash against the Milton Keynes Pathfinders. The landscape is another sweltering July afternoon. Unfortunately for the Milton Keynes boys, the Exiles are here to rain on their parade.
We're warming up down this end this week.
The usual warm-ups and briefings are a crucial part of every game day's preparation. The devil most certainly in the detail. At halftime, the Exiles youngsters are honored by their older compatriots, the first Exile U team to ever make Brit Bowl. Unfortunately, they still have 2 months to stay hungry before they head to Doncaster in September for the finals.
AC, Sam and Dean. Alright? Dean, you're on next. Okay.
Unless he literally just backpedaled like a DB to get him, he won't.
Well, I mean, on that last one, I could backpedal untouched. So I know it's a little bit odd, but I'm able to like step back a couple of steps and look for it. So I can at least try that out.
Yeah.
News is out that due to other league game results, a win here will guarantee a playoff berth for Kent. This is all they need to hear. Despite a brave fight back from the Pathfinders, the home team prevails, securing an emotional Tony Bainbridge with the first of his targets since those bleak January days.
Playoffs.
Well, it's always a goal at the start of the season. Not sure everyone back in January believed that we'd get there. I'm not sure we'd get there with the squad we had back in January, to be honest. But they've earned the 7-1 record they've got. We'll finish out with 2 wins, and I don't know, something just feels right. Something just feels right.
That's a big relief now, having that done, especially like you saying, just knowing that at half time Watford won, Bedfordshire down, you know, as long as we win, guaranteed playoffs. It's just, it adds pressure, but at the same time it takes a bit off of you, because you just think, you know, all we got to do is maintain this level, maintain this pressure, keep the scoreline as it is, and job done. And here we are, we're going playoffs.
Our final home game was to be against Bedford. They started the season really well. I think they won their first 4 games, and then their season turned a little bit. They had the easiest opponents basically early. Their schedule was backloaded. Suffered a few injuries in the 2 games leading up to our game. Decided that it was unsafe to play with the limited number of players they had. It was frustrating from the point of view that teams will do that. It always tends to happen against stronger opponents, as opposed to, you know, obviously Maidstone were a team that everybody scored a lot of points on. No one had a problem turning up to play Maidstone. So there were some discussions for a number of days, attempting to reschedule the game, trying to get it played in you know, a mutually acceptable time. Unfortunately, that couldn't be done. And as soon as it was apparent the game wasn't going to be played, the league decided that it was them forfeiting the game, as opposed to both teams accepting that it couldn't be played. They pulled out due to not having enough players. Therefore, we were awarded the victory. And I mean, as soon as that was sort of decided, it had to be put out of everybody's mind, and we just had to get on. So, although we lost a game day, we gained a practice in preparation for the playoffs and the final game of the season against Watford.
Dick, man, how'd you get out there? One of them was like that. It was like, I don't know how you can get away with that. So your head. I just saw your head. Listen up, Queen left, Twins, Panther left.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Go! Go! Go!
Some of the youth team staying hungry. Still over a month to go. Football stops for neither man nor rain. Some days you really don't want to be here.
Okay. Then run.
Okay.
Yeah, it's rained. I know some guys haven't seen rain for a couple of months, but it's wet. It's all right. It don't hurt. Right. We've got about 10 minutes in this left. Okay. Right now, let's start playing offence. Okay, like we're going to play offence next Sunday.
Although the final game of the regular season has no effect on the playoff lineup, the Exile pride still craves a win. Work, work, work. Football may be a game, but that's no reason to take it lightly. The Exiles are on form and sees an early lead in the first half. The mood is good, but maybe the focus is already slipping to the playoff game ahead.
They'll keep throwing those little couple of passes, yeah, like they did in the first pass, right, for 2 or 3 yards. Let's just make sure the dog gets there, makes the tackle.
I picked that ball up and looked up I was ready to run over that.
Yes, way to go! Yeah, D! Yeah! That's what we're talking about! Way to go! Thank you all!
Speed on it! A couple of things go our way on offence and not go our way on offence. We had one thing in particular really go our way on offence, okay? But we made the best of it, okay? You make your own luck in this game, yeah? Okay? We know what we need to do offensively now to beat them, yeah? We've beaten this team in the second half before from way behind. Guess what? We can beat them from in front as well, okay? But do not, because to me it feels like, and to everybody else, does it feel like we're losing this game?
Yes.
Well, keep that feeling inside you, okay? Forget about the scoreline, the fact we are actually somehow ahead, yeah? And treat this like we're behind and we still have a football game to play and we've still got half of football where we have to leave it all on the field, balls out and win. You're right, let's stay in base but just take us to person.
Alright guys, bring it in!
Groups rallied, the team go out for a second half. Guts and glory in their sights, especially glory. One time the Cheetahs would rather not see any more yellow on the field.
Yeah, we could.
Focus begins to slip and the mistakes start to show their unwanted faces. The frustration evident, not least for veteran Aaron Alexis, playing his last regular season game. The loss hurts, but must be used as fuel for the training and preparation to follow over the next few weeks. It's been a long season, and the hard-won playoff spot cannot be wasted.
So we've got now, what, 4 weeks until the playoff game? Yeah? 3 weeks, 3 practices? Yeah? You decide, okay? Every single one of you, as individuals, decide whether or not you want to win that game or whether you want to feel like today. Second in the division, okay? 8 and 2. Yeah? All that's left is the playoffs. Come on, playoffs on 3, please.
Playoffs on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Playoffs!
Summer is still showing its benevolent side, so Coach Bainbridge shows his culinary one. A small gathering, football-led conversations, and good food to fill the gaps in bellies.
Toss it to me. Yeah, you get like 3 months of each. You want one season. Yeah, go for it.
So good, guys.
Outstanding.
September has arrived. The youth team have one final training session before the trip north. Fine-tuning and that all-important team bonding. They already know they will face their fierce divisional rivals, the London Blitz, in what is sure to be a brutal grudge match. The Exiles have beaten the Blitz twice already this year, so the Londoners will be out for blood and revenge.
Either to the running back or to the receiver they motioned in, he then moved behind it or whatever.
Let's take me out, mate.
Aye, 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 aye! What's the wrong? Go right, go right!
Dive right.
Perfect football conditions and a relaxed Exile team run through their warm-up drills in the shadow of the Doncaster Rovers Stadium.
Regan. There you go, Regan. 99. Ian. 85.
The playbook has been adjusted, the muscles are stretched, the attitude one of intensity, and the gum shields are put in place. The only remaining thing is to bring it on. Game time. The Blitz have come prepared and decided attack is the best form of defense. This may not be the Exiles' day, but they go down fighting and have indelibly made their mark on the national stage. Football is a game of honor, passion, and a burning desire to win. These young men have shown all three. This is just the beginning.
Exiles are free! 1, 2, 3! Two lines, let's go!
Foul weather adds a distinctly hostile feel to the Solent game. A late 5 o'clock kickoff, delayed access to the ground, and already the light is starting to go. This will be a true test.
Bus off the hut!
Does it? We do it. Punch him round, punch him round, punch him round. He was fighting like this. He was literally.
fucking way.
Right, it's quite simple. Last thing I heard, Colchester were hammering Bristol at Colchester, okay, as we expected. We all want another bite of Colchester. Guys that were here, guys that weren't here, you know you want another bite of Colchester. And there's only one way you can make that happen, and that's to go out today and win. Okay, so go out today and everybody in their own position execute. Okay, you know how this shit works. Everybody's got to do their own job 100% every play for 60 minutes. Yeah, we know we are damn good when we do that. Okay, but we haven't shown it for all 60 minutes of a game all year. We know what's coming. We know what we got to do on offense. Let's go out there and get it done. Okay, hands in.
Go, guys. Nice and loud, boys.
Up the show, we'll do business. Exiles on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Exiles!
coaches, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! 3 cheers to the franchise, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! 3 cheers to the supporters, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
And 3 cheers to Aaron Alexis, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! I've been playing football with this guy since I was about 11 years old, on and off. Seeing him leave the field in that way is sad, but it had to come to an end at some point, okay? All we can do is look back on the good things and the bad things that we did this year, the things we need to improve on, things we can make better, the things we need to change, okay, in order to get where we want to go next year now.
Exiles on 3. 1, 2, 3. Exiles!
The season ends. Not the fairy tale conclusion for the Kent Exiles, but a harsh lesson that to succeed is a never-ending challenge.
It was a hard adjustment at the beginning of the season anyway, because I'd gone from thinking I was going to be a receiver for the whole off-season, so then becoming a running back, which was a bit of a surprise. Like it was a good surprise, but just like it was a big adjustment, like having to go from those two positions, because although in terms of speed and athleticism, they're roughly the same in this sort of league. In terms of roles and responsibilities, they're very different. As for our last game, I was obviously disappointed with the result because I wanted it to carry on, but I wanted our season to carry on. But I'd say they were the better team and they deserved the win. So, yeah, I mean,
you know, Sunday was a difficult game. It was just a tough, mentally and physical game. You know, they had a big D-line, big O-line, lots of players. You know, they knew what they were doing as well. Really well drilled. You know, everything we'd gone through training and stuff. We thought we were prepared, and I think we just underestimated them. You know, we gave them a game. I think we tried, but you know, just all comes to an end at some point, and unfortunately for us, that was the end.
I think what had a big influence on our loss of the game was really our lack of people at training sessions.
Yeah,
our poor turnouts.
Definitely.
I think had a really big impact on the result.
There's so much commitment and time, you know, spent learning and trying and training and like trying to better yourself at your position. It's something you have to like love enough to give part of your life to. Like you guys said, you can't just turn up on Sunday, have to kick about and think, yeah, okay, no, that's all right, we got a little bit faster, or no, that was a good cross or something. No, this requires true commitment. If you just think, oh, I'm just doing this purely for fun, I don't really care, you know, what the playbook is, or I'm not really fussed about turning up, don't come here. This team is all about heart, commitment, drive, working for each other and working for one single goal, just to win the bowl one year. That is the plan, but you can't do it as individual people. You have to come together as a team.
So, you know, unfortunately, that final result didn't go away. I wasn't feeling too good that weekend. I'm not making any excuses for the result, but I ended up, the day after, I ended up having to go to A&E to have a couple of bags of fluid because I got a bit dehydrated and had some bowel issues. They were all sorted within a day. The resolve to improve and correct, you know, where we've fallen down and where we were weak was almost immediate. In the huddle after that game, a few people, you know, there were a couple of retirees and that was sort of an emotional moment, but the resolve was literally immediate, with guys saying like, right, we're going to be in the gym, you know, on Wednesday. In those 23 seasons of there being an Exiles team and no head coach sticking around for the adults for more than 3 years, I've achieved since I've been here. We've made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. We've improved the squad. We're working towards a program. The youth program has made the final now. It's the first time since that's been going. We're going to have a junior team back. There's only one piece left to fill. We need some silverware. It's the only thing missing from the Exiles at the moment is a trophy in the trophy cabinet.